All right. Welcome into 5-day crypto live stream. First time in a long time, but hopefully more as the market picks up here. As we're getting a little bit more subscribers, maybe we can do more. So if you're watching this at a later date, you might want to fast forward a few minutes. I'm going to give it a few minutes to get some people in here. We don't have anybody in here yet, so give it a few. We're a little early. Said it would go live at 10. Hopefully it's live right now. It looks good. Let me know during the stream, for those of you joining early, if something's looking off. I'll try to keep up with the chat, but there's some things I want to cover first before we get into a lot of chit chat. I also have on slow chat, so you can't just keep spamming the channel. And then I also have subscriber chat only. So if you want to type me a message, subscribe. It's not to get you to subscribe. It's to prevent all the people coming in and spamming, just ads or, donkey poo. All right. So we still have nobody. So maybe this will be a short stream. We'll see. Let me see if I can paste this somewhere so that somebody knows we're live. All right. All right, let me post this in a couple more places. Like I said, if you're, hopefully you're not watching this part and you have fast forwarded already through this. Welcome in to a couple people, one person, no people now. All right, I'll give it a few more minutes or another minute. See if we can get anybody else in here at all. Hey, we got one. Get our first chat. All right, let me see. No, we still only have one person, so there's no point in really doing a whole lot of content until we get anybody watching at all. All right, we'll get going here in a second. Does everything sound okay? Look okay? For the one of you that's here? All right, I guess we can go ahead and get started. And so the video will start now, and if you're fast forwarded, this is the section you want to start at. So I'll try to note to start about, what, 3 or 4 minutes in. I don't have a time on here. Can you guys hear me okay? All right. All right, well, let's get moving. We'll start off with Bitcoin on the 5-day Gaussian channel because that's probably most important. Bitcoin is king of the roost, so what it does, the rest of the market tends to follow. My cat's meowing in the background, so if he pops up on me in a minute and ends the stream, you know why. So the bottom of the 5-day Gaussian. Historically, that's been a great kind of bottom area to accumulate anytime you're underneath the 5-day Gaussian channel. Historically, not in the, the next 3 days, but usually the next 3 years, you're going to look like, pretty much rock star. It's only happened a handful of times in Bitcoin's history. You can look back at 2018, the bear market, the full capitulation there, the March pandemic drop here, right? And, we got a couple chances, couple days here and there to buy under here. And note that all of our closes on these candles are happening inside the channel. That's pretty amazing how we have one candle, right? These are green, so these close on top. So that's one candle, two candles closing right at the bottom of the 5-day Gaussian. Now we're coming up. So anytime you lift up out of here, usually you're going to test at least close to the median line next. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to do that now. And if we do it this time, we'll be at 47K plus, right? If we hit this time. What would that mean? That would be quite significant. Why? Well, let's go take it off the Gaussian channel and we'll look at the weekly. What would happen on the weekly? Well, look at where we are. We're right at the 21-week EMA. So this historically is kind of the fence separating the bears and the bulls, right? When we're up here, we're holding the 21-week EMA. Prices and even altcoin prices can really start to move. Now, does that happen right away? Well, usually not. Usually Bitcoin goes on a tear first. And then once we start to level off and Bitcoin's showing, bullish strength and sustained bullish strength, then alts can come out to play. So until that happens, until we can close above 46K, until we can close above the 21-week EMA, which is the weekly chart, until we can close above here, 46K, right? We want to get above kind of these kind of candles that we held for so long here, okay? So let me draw it accurately here. So here we go, right? This is the line in the sand here, the box in the sand. So we have to get above here. So I would even argue 47K on the weekly, but if we leave that everything intact and look at it on the daily, you can see that that's a little bit lower on the daily. So if a daily close, anywhere above this box, we can really start getting more macro bullish. Until this happens, this could still just be a relief rally, so to speak. So we could go back down. If we get rejected anywhere before we, seeing daylight up here, I would be high cautious if we start coming back down here before making a high here. So we want to take out, 46, 47K, closing candles, daily, weekly, whatever you want to look at. And until that happens, we could theoretically come back down. If we come back down and get rejected here before closing up in here, we're probably looking at going back to, we have to hope. We have to hope that, the 40K-ish level holds. We blew through that like kind of butter, going on the way up. So I would say if we break under, this box, get back to that 39.5. See this candle here? That was kind of the sign that our inverse head and shoulders was a failed inverse, right? Do you remember all that a couple weeks back? Right here, you had your shoulder, your head, and everyone was thinking that we were getting ready to go back up, right? The inverse head and shoulders, and if that plays out, you have a nice breakout. However, that was invalidated once we broke this wick right here around that 39.5 level, and then the fake out down. Everyone thought we were going much lower. And then, Bitcoin doing Bitcoin things. And now we're trying to, put in a new higher high here. If we do that, let me clear this up, right? So what we want to be looking for next is a higher high. We're very close, right? We have a low, right? Low, a higher low. We have a high. Now we need a higher high. We need a close up in here. And then you could start working your way back up the channel here. And then, in this downtrend, which it looks like we're trying to do, right? We made a new high. We took out this. Now we've made a higher low. So all the little baby steps are there. Now we need the giant leap, and the giant leap is, you know, closing above all these candles right here that we maintained for almost a month, right? This was almost a month long before we ended up breaking down. Over a month, 32 days right there before we broke down. So that'll be a significant level. That's not up for debate. You can say what you want about where your level is, but this is for Bitcoin against US dollar. This is the box right here. This is your zone you need to get above, right? You can see that any chart person that works off of charts, that's the level. Okay, so that's Bitcoin in a nutshell. Hopefully you grab something out of there. Do we have any questions yet? Good morning, everyone. We got a whopping 7 people. I know this is kind of an off time for those of you in the US or those of you that have jobs. But you can watch these back if you don't know that. You can watch live streams back. I'm going to try. I think I'm attempting my first chapter break, so maybe it'll you know, go to, you know, Bitcoin. I'm just going to kind of go down the list unless I have you know, questions around this the list that you're seeing here above my head. Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, MATIC, Engine, DOT. Those are just my favorite coins personally. If your coin's not on that list, no hard feelings. I would also recommend, just a general tip, that if you have, you know, you're following 20, 30, 50 coins, I would try to narrow that down. Most successful traders kind of focus on, you know, 5 less than 10 coins. I don't know anybody that's, you know, does this full time that just, you know, has buy orders in for, you know, 50 coins. That's not really how it works. You need to be hyper focused on a select few coins, and you can do very well just on those select. And so if I don't know, you know, the new hot coin of the day, then now you know why. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, hey, Nate, did the 5-day Gaussian right at the beginning. It's looking good. I can put that back on while I'm discussing Chi-Chi. That was the next question. Important issues here. My Chihuahua dog, he's right at my feet right now. He's sleeping, so maybe if he wakes up, I will have him make an appearance. The 5-day Gaussian again holds the bottom, a nice little bottom formation here. So still in the channel, still closing in the channel. We need to break it back above here. Our next target's kind of that 47K area. It's kind of where we started this video at. And I mean, look at the median line wicks off of that. The 5-day Gaussian is just amazing for Bitcoin. So I would suggest adding that if you don't have it, if you're new here. 5-day Gaussian channel, really beneficial to you. So what else do we want to do? There's the daily Gaussian channel. Let me look at the daily Gaussian for Bitcoin, because there's some things brewing here. Okay, so normally you don't want to look at the daily because it has a lot of fake outs, right? You got a lot of, you know, jump back and forths, but it could still be a little bit helpful. Why? Well, we're on the verge of potentially turning green here for Bitcoin, which would be, you know, on the daily chart, that'd be pretty bullish. We haven't been green since the early December. So this would be a nice little step in the right direction. So when could we potentially turn green? Is it going to be today? No. It's the earliest I see it if prices continue up, right? So if we start breaking out to 46, 47K, we could potentially have this daily Gaussian turn green this week. That would be good, right? Because let's look at any time it's turned from red to green, right? This is what we want to have happen. So prices rally, turns green, price action on top, usually continuation. If you start coming back in here, you know, a little bit of a warning sign, but that's when you want to like really use this on the 5-day. But usually red to green is pretty bullish. So let's hope for that this week. Now, if we need to really just break through that 46, I can't stress enough how we need to clear these February highs. We need to get out of that, make a new high, get out of all of this month-long consolidation support level here, and big steps. I think a lot of big money will start entering more into Bitcoin, much more than we've seen yet, if we can start closing, you know, above 46, 47K. So watch for that. In a nutshell, you can look at the 4-hour and see what we're doing. We're a lot of volatility so far this morning. Even there's our flip to green on the 4-hour. So we'll see what this does. Maybe the daily does something similar. That would be nice, right? But look at the volatility today so far. A lot of Bitcoin actions here. Bitcoin does what it wants. What else we got? Scale and VeChain. Okay. Then if you want your coins requested, that's fine. Just shoot me the symbol and not the name of the place always, because I don't do, like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't just track 50 coins. So if you want it on a certain exchange covered, let me know the exchange. Some exchanges have more data than others, so I'll usually just pick the top one unless you guys got a better one. So there we go. Scale. It's got a little bit of history here. So let's put on the daily. I'll start out with the daily. Right, we can move it off the Gaussian channel. So most coins are red against the Gaussian right now, but all right. So scale, pretty much downtrend, right? I have a feeling that there's some more data somewhere. Let's look at it. Anybody got any more data than this, or what else are we looking at? If you don't like your coin against Tether or USD, let me know. If you want against Bitcoin, I would suggest following your coins against Bitcoin as well. Let's go look at that. So if your coins, pretty much, let's pretty much even for a year now against Bitcoin. So has maybe a little bubbles. Scale against Bitcoin, we're at a floor now. Really, we're really close to a floor. If we come down here, it doesn't mean it's the concrete here, right? But we're kind of at the support zone right now. You can kind of see those levels. So a lot of coins will go through these boom and busts against Bitcoin. Remember, this is scale against Bitcoin right now. So if we start breaking into this zone, I don't know where you bought in through here, but this is, when your coins are down already, 60, 70%, 80%, those are not the times to be selling, not financial advice, but you've missed those opportunities. So now it's best to just kind of wait and hold and see if we come up here. Now, if we start breaking down outside of this, then you could potentially face some more trouble. So let's go back and look at against the US dollar, and we'll see what if we let's Binance has got to be pretty good. Okay, so same thing. We're losing value against Bitcoin, and a lot of coins are, and we're losing value since March of 2021. So we're near the bottom. We've gone through all the cycle of losing the value. We're down 90% against the US dollar now. So we've hopefully we want to look for an uptrend, and what we need to do is start making higher highs. That's all you need to do on any of your coins. Look for the higher highs, and now that we've formed this kind of rough bottom in here, you want to be careful if we start breaking down under here. So that would be my word of caution to you. Under this level, this 0.1, and then to the upside, we want to just simply break the 0.16 right there. And then, same thing as Bitcoin, make a high, higher low. So far, so good, right? This is a higher low. So, so far, so good on scale. But, if you're looking to get in or out of it, this will be more time to get in than out. Your time to get out was when, looking on the weekly. If you start breaking and closing under your 21 week, those are your warning signs, like right in here. If you have a rally up, stop loss right back underneath the 21 week usually will work out well in your benefit. If you start doing things that you haven't done in a long time, I know you don't have a lot of history here, but just a word to the wise on coins in general. So we can go look at VeChain now. VeChain, a little bit different. I think there's more history on this somewhere. Oh, that was the weekly. All right, so VeChain's kind of lost its kind of macro support here, right? This is the level that we wanted to hold, the previous May drop. So now are we in the despair mode? Well, maybe. I would say that's maybe good odds. Obviously, if Bitcoin kicks the bucket back down, these coins will come down to the next support areas, down in this area. But until we cross that bridge, right? If Bitcoin, holds on tight here, I would expect VeChain to kind of hold this area, which it is now, right? Look at the wick right here, and then the candle closes, right? These aren't coincidence levels. So this is, again, most coins right now are at accumulation phases. However, until Bitcoin gets above its 21 week, altcoins are a little bit more risky, and you're kind of seeing that, right? Bitcoin is kind of going to be in charge, and nothing says that more guarantee as a Bitcoin dominance is rising. So we can go look at Bitcoin dominance as this is going up. We're going to be seeing altcoins struggle more and more. So as Bitcoin dominance rises, the altcoins will get choked out and more handcuffed, more slow to move. If this falls, then altcoins get a chance to run. Also, when would altcoins get a chance to run? Well, we talked about that earlier as well. Once Bitcoin gets above its 20-week, 21-week, right? Once we get up here like this kind of move, then altcoins can really start to move. So that's what I would be kind of expecting on a lot of coins, is you can accumulate here, right? These are low prices. These are much lower than you maybe a lot of you have ever seen before. Maybe most people probably didn't think coins would drop 85% in less than a year, but here we are. So a lot of coins are well under their 21-week. So these are it's a little bit more risky to be buying alts right now, because if Bitcoin gets rejected before its 21-week is overtaken, altcoins will come down even farther. And for VeChain, the next level here, I mean, you could potentially draw like another little box right here, but this is not a whole lot of support. But that was kind of your next level. And then below that, you kind of just look at your consolidation levels, look back at where bigger support was. So yeah, we could potentially drop inside of these boxes if we lose this box. So if you see a weekly candle closing under here, this is your next target area. If you close the candle under that, your next target area, and it might not look like it's that far, but after you're down 90% already, there's another 20%, 25% drop. There's another 40, 45%, there's 50% drop. So coins can continue to drop if Bitcoin gets rejected here. So just use caution. If you want to DCA, dollar cost average, as we go down, that's a great strategy. Nobody knows where the bottom is. The bottom could be in, right? VeChain bottom for the rest of VeChain's life could be right on this candle, right? We may never see those prices again. We may see those prices again next week. Nobody knows, but dollar cost averaging down here, after you lose these kind of support levels, you could be entering your final despair mode at the psychological, market cycle levels. And then, these are the times that, you'll look back on, 2020 vision. A year from now, we'll be able to look back at VeChain. Are we going to be down here, or is this the low? And, VeChain will be, well beyond all-time highs again. All right, no one knows, but you want to be looking on the daily chart. I would stick to the daily and weekly. And our next target for VeChain is simply going to be, taking out these little candles right here. So get above, 6.77 cents, and you can even extend this back. You see this, this kind of critical level that, something similar to Bitcoin, right? If we get up in here, VeChain can get much more bullish again. 7.5 cents. Would be great. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit for VeChain. All right, we can do AVAX. AVAX chart's looking good. I like AVAX. I own some AVAX. I wish I had more AVAX. So like Avalanche, you'll see some of these coins are looking much better. Those are the coins you want to, not financial advice, but coins that are basically trending up for most of its life against Bitcoin, against dollar. I mean, look at AVAX chart. There's not a whole lot of coins that just have this kind of looking chart, right? You can even take off the price and, put on their 21-day, put on their 21-week. If your coin's looking like that, that's a pretty solid coin to be looking at, right? You don't want the opposite of that. You don't want it to be downtrending its whole life against the US dollar or even Bitcoin. If your coin's downtrending against Bitcoin, then why would you not just hold Bitcoin? The only point of altcoins, the only point for an investment purpose, is because you think it will outperform Bitcoin. If they're not outperforming Bitcoin, stop holding those coins. Get into coins. I mean, AVAX is a great example of that. I haven't looked at the AVAX Bitcoin chart, but I would bet it's doing quite well. Let's go take a look-see. AVAX Bitcoin. So had some rough start, but ever since, it found its footing here, there's not a whole lot of coins in the past, year. So here's the year. So let's say, what is today? It's March, first week of March. So let's just take it from right here. How much is AVAX up against Bitcoin, mind you, in the past year? To almost 300%. There's not, you'll bet you couldn't name 10 coins that are up 300% against Bitcoin in the past year. There's not a whole lot. And then especially in the past few months, since December, let's say, or November, when we had our fall, right? Let's even take it since December. I mean, even if you're running even against Bitcoin since December, you're doing very well. AVAX is in that category. So AVAX is a big coin in my book, and I think it will have a great future. Let's put it back on Tether. So on the weekly chart, we're trying to battle back. There's a lot of, remember, this is huge, right? The AVAX is overtaking its 21 week right now. There's coins that are way under their 21 week right now. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at coins to buy. You need to look at the strength historically, not just what some dude on Reddit said or what anyone said. Look at the charts will tell you everything you need to know. And AVAX chart is saying strength right now because it's doing what a lot of coins are not doing. It's trying to close this weekly candle, which closes in 4.5 days, above its 21 week. There's just simply not that many coins doing that right now. So AVAX gets my stamp of approval right now. If that means anything to anybody, I don't care what you think. But it's making, I mean, it just took out, these highs with these wicks here, right? It took that out. So if we come back up, we want to take this high out, work our way back up, and then, our next target's going to be kind of this area, this, early $100, 120. I mean, hey, AVAX could be looking at all-time highs pretty quickly if Bitcoin starts getting, more bullish, that 47K level for Bitcoin. AVAX, in my opinion, can take off quite quickly. Let's go look at a couple indicators for AVAX. It's getting some momentum. The RSI, the relative strength. You want your coins kind of up in this area. Certainly at times of indecision. The higher your strength, relative strength index, the better off your coin is looking. A lot of coins are down here. Not a whole lot up in this area, but if we're holding, above 50, that's more bullish than bearish. So just another thing to keep in mind. A lot of coins are trying to get some traction here. Another good indicator that I like to use is the ADX and the I. So average directional index, the ADX in the orange here, way down. But the bulls and bears are fighting it out. So whoever takes over here, hopefully the bulls, on the daily chart, we need a spike up. I like to use the ADX on the weekly more. Just a lot of fighting on the daily chart. The weekly is much more calming. So you can see historically AVAX, the bulls have always been in charge on the weekly. So we don't want them to coming close to fighting any bears. And so far, it looks like we just need a little bit of a turnaround sometime in the not so distant future. Hopefully in the next 30 days or so, we can see some good things out of AVAX. They're fighting though. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. Reading the charts, the chats, the chats and the charts. All right, you're welcome. Let's go look at MATIC. MATIC, I have a pretty large position in. I'm a fan of MATIC. I think it's gonna have a great future. NFTs and gaming, I think it'll be here to stay. I think NFTs are gonna go through like a price winter at some point. They're kind of already experiencing that a little bit now, but NFTs are here to stay. And MATIC's gonna play a big role in that, in my opinion. So what we want to see for MATIC, you'll see a lot of people draw these kind of like downtrend horizontal lines, and that's okay, but these, I would put far less weight in these kind of diagonal lines than I would support and resistance levels, horizontal lines. Those are the levels that you want to be trading off of, not necessarily these, because how many times have you seen these kind of break to the upside or downside and nothing really happens, right? So you can draw them just to kind of help you out a little bit, and certainly, if MATIC starts breaking above this, that would be kind of a nice sign. But really, you want to be taking out your highs. You want to work your way back up. So far, we've kind of hopefully formed this kind of nice bottom area for MATIC. You know, if we come back down and lose these levels, the next clear level for me is going to be kind of right around this dollar area. You can see this right here. This is going to be the level. If we fall outside of that box and lose those wicks, we're very likely coming down in here. And then we can, you know, and the only reason this would happen is if Bitcoin decides to go back to mid 30s or something like that, and it really reverses on us. But other than that, you know, I think a lot of coins maybe have potentially already bottomed. These kind of wicks, these long wicks like here, kind of capitulation, and then you know, when you see these rapid recoveries, a lot of buyers are coming in. So there's a lot of people buying right in this area. And you know, hopefully we see MATIC, you know, closing above its 21-day. That's 21-day EMA. And then let's put on the weekly and see a little bit bigger scale here. And so now our next target, you know, clear is 174 right at the 21 week. So could we do that this week? Sure. That's not that far away. We're at 166 now, so it's, you know, it's looking like a little bit stronger than a lot of coins, right? We're up 15% on the week so far. Not a whole lot of coins are doing that, but I like it. You know, this structure is looking great, but we kind of broke down out of it. You know, you can see right here that, you know, MATIC does this time to time and kind of gets outside of its 21 week a little bit, but you know, it hasn't. You can see that it's very quick to recover, and it's kind of just stalled out a little bit here. So I would really like us to close back above the 21 week, and then I think MATIC can really explode again. Certainly if Bitcoin, again, Bitcoin starts, you see Bitcoin close at 46, 47K, I think MATIC will be very quick to recover. And I mean, we'll be looking at, you know, probably these, you know, mid twos, 220, 230 pretty quickly if we can start to close back above our 21 week. And let's go look at, you can see MATIC's up 15% on the week with no momentum. That is pretty impressive. If you see this momentum bouncing now, if we can close up in here, like we did back in August, you'll see MATIC really making those kind of those pops that, you know, we're used to the past several months. These kind of 24% weekly gains. There's a 30%, right? These kind of candles. That's what we're looking for. And to do that, we just need to get and close above the 21 week, and Bitcoin just can remain, you know, level headed. So hopefully that helps on MATIC. All right, so no more questions yet. Let me know if you guys got any e-gold. Okay, we can do that. I got it down here somewhere. I don't see it. I just type it in. It's down there somewhere. All right, so another basically lifetime uptrender. So that's good. Let's go look at it against Bitcoin real quick. Or not. There we go. All right, so against Bitcoin, again, uptrender. This is what you want to see. If your coin is trending up lifetime against Bitcoin, or even recently against Bitcoin, or the past year, you want it to outperform Bitcoin, or you really shouldn't be holding it. I don't care what the use case is, or what your best friend's twice removed cousin has said. If it's not outperforming Bitcoin, there is zero. It's hurting you. I mean, you're hurting yourself. So make sure it's outperforming Bitcoin. I would suggest before you buy any coin, just pull it up against Bitcoin. If it's looking like that, then hey, you got at least through the door. You can keep researching. A quick and easy way is check it against Bitcoin. If it's not looking up against Bitcoin, just go right over it. That'd be my tip of the day for you. So weekly, we got some work to do. 21 week is all the way up at the 200 mark, and that's probably coming down week over week here. So next week it could be, you know, just shy of 200. You know, it depends on what we do here. So we've, again, like a lot of coins, lost that 21 week, and, you know, just, you know, ran into it, hit resistance. When you retest that 21 week after falling and closing below it, and then you get rejected, you're really going to just get hammered down the mountain here, which we've done. And we tried to get more bullish a couple weeks ago, right? And we made a nice rally up. up to the 270 mark, and we ended up closing again back over, which is again another warning sign that you're going back down significantly lower. So after that rejection, we closed here. And how much down did we go? We went down another almost 40%. Now we're recovering a little bit. So let's go top to bottom. Also note this candle here. This is not what you want to see. So this is your warning sign right here. This candle in November. When you close that candle like that long wick after a substantial rally, this is a telltale sign of weakness, and you are going to be losing a lot of your momentum and price action. If you ever see this candle at the top of a rally, you better be at least consider getting out pretty quickly. No matter if you bought here, right? Taking a 8 or 9% loss is much better than, top to bottom here, 80%. Okay, so this was the warning sign right here, that candle. Not a lot of charts do that, but when you have a solid, big solid green followed by this, the bulls have lost momentum and the bears are coming out to play. 9 times out of 10 right here. Certainly on a weekly scale, that's a scary candle. And then, you close your week right here. That's another confirmation. You close a weekly candle, 3 weeks after substantial downside. I mean, in less than a month, you went down 58%. So if you haven't, if you're thinking about selling and you haven't, this is not the time, right? You don't want to be selling after you've taken, a majority of hits. So even from the top now, we're still down 70%. Those are times to start thinking about coming back in. Again, not financial advice, but I think, a lot of coins, as long as Bitcoin doesn't kick the bucket, we've seen the bottom on a lot of these coins. So macro level, the good news, we're building back up like a lot of coins. There's your low. Here's a higher low. Here's a high. Now, when we move up and we break this, hopefully, you just want anything above this, and you're stepping back up the stairs. So your target needs to be, right at that 200 mark, right? Boom. Baby steps up the stairs. This is how, bottoms form, take a lot of time to form. They can outlast most people's patience. And that's just the way the crypto works. So after these substantial rallies, hopefully you learn your lesson a little bit when you're moving up, 1,000% in 150 days. You probably should not be getting into those coins, right? You can get in 400% in 90 days, right? Okay, maybe you can get in a little bit, right? It's on some momentum moves, but 1,000% inside of 6 months is probably not your best time to be getting into coins, and because hello, right? So hopefully you learn your lesson. It's okay to make mistakes. You need to make mistakes in crypto. It's not okay to make the same mistakes. You can make as many mistakes as you want as long as you're learning from each one. Eventually, you'll get better. So that's my story for eGold. We need to take out these highs, form a bottom, hopefully. A lot of coins are looking like, trying to reverse trend here. Just takes a little bit longer than a lot of people are used to. So, maybe we do something like this. This would be fantastic, right? This nice little W pattern, and going into, the summertime, we're back at all-time highs again. Who knows? But looking good, right? Trending up against Tether, trending up against Bitcoin. Still decent coin to be looking at, in my opinion. Good to go. All right. All right, what do we got? Luna. Luna's kind of the coin of the day, week, and month, huh? Luna's doing very well. I have just a tiny bit of Luna. I wish I had a little bit more. So since July, let's take our move since our bottom. Well, actually, Luna bottomed back in May, right? That's a healthy coin. Not a lot of coins bottomed in May and then have avoided, going back to that. So almost over 2,400%. I mean, that's inside of 220 days. That's pretty impressive. So as of right now, we're close to even all-time highs again. So Luna's certainly the hot coin right now. Case in point, the past week has done considerably well. Going back to the last week of February, we're almost doubled in price since then. So Looking great. Let's look at some indicators here. So our pedal is to the metal. So our momentum is cranked out. Now, a lot of people think that, you're up high and you got to come back down. Well, that's true. You do. But think of this more like a car on the highway. You have your accelerator all the way down. Yeah, you have to stop eventually, but not for a while. Just because historically you've come back down not that long. This could last. You can last up here for weeks. You could last up here for a month. So when you don't try to anticipate the move, you got to wait for confirmation. You want to be waiting for your momentum to break back in the box, not anticipate it coming down immediately. You have all your momentum you need. You wait a long time to get this. Your momentum is cranked out. Do not anticipate a move down. This is what you want to see out of your coins. And if you have it all cranked out on the daily, go look at the weekly. Maybe you got a little bit different story. And we do here. So look at this. So we could potentially at the end of this week, if we stay cranked out on the daily, we could have a break up to the weekly, and this could last several more weeks here. This would be what we want to see out of Luna. We need this kind of move, which don't have it yet. We have it so far, but the red is your average. I'd like to get that in there, and then you want to see this angle of attack continue to happen. So some coins will do this, and then they'll like kind of start to fizzle out, or have these fake outs, something like that. This is not that strong. This is strong. That's what you want to see. So Luna's got the momentum right now. So I would not be doing a whole lot. And look at this on the week. A lot of good signs here. I mean, look at the ADX and the I balance here. So that is strong. At the same time, the ADX is trying to turn around with the green. So Luna could be just getting, as hard as it is to believe, Luna might only be getting started here. The MACD is looking good. Our TDI signal just got a weekly cross. Usually the weeklies don't have a whole lot of fake outs. Last time in July here, you got kind of some indecision up in here, but let's go look at the daily here. The TDI is the Trader's Dynamic Index. If you're new, it can be helpful. Just another helpful tool. So we're outside of the bands here. So, maybe this is our sign that maybe it's not going to last a whole lot longer, but yeah, you want to use your indicators to kind of back up your entry or exit, and not use your indicators to actually enter or exit a trade. You want to kind of look at where you are support and resistance wise, so, and then use your indicators to kind of confirm your thoughts. So hopefully that helps. Now we're coming into a little bit of resistance right at obviously at the all-time high, so use that to your advantage, right? Anytime you're coming into resistance, maybe you set your stop loss, right just down to your previous candles here, right? You might want to risk going right down here, 85-ish. So if you go up to, the 100, yeah, you could potentially lose, 15% or so. But, if you break this, you're probably coming down a little bit more than that. So just a lot of ifs in there. But Luna's looking stronger than pretty much every coin across the board right now. Hopefully that helps. What else we got? Yeah, hit the like button, you sons of... Well, we have a whopping 10 people. Only the 10 people that want to learn. It's okay. You'll make it. No one else will. Hey, Jacques, we can look at AMP. Hey, Joy, everybody. A lot of familiar faces. Long-time followers. Appreciate you guys. AMP. Let's go look at AMP. So AMP has struggled a little bit. It hits these booms and busts. It goes through these kind of massive tsunamis. It reminds me of Interstellar, when those big tsunami waves come and then there's nothing. Then there's a tsunami wave and then nothing. So that's what I think of it when I look at this chart. But so hopefully we've hit our capitulation. And why did we hit there? Well, look at all this zone back in here, right? So you want to always zoom out as far as you can and wonder why these places, kind of triggered their stops here. This is kind of a big level for AMP. After these initial moves up, right? This is their first tsunami, this massive wave, and the pullback is right here. So usually in bear markets, you'll come back to revisit those, and that's what we've kind of hit. Hopefully this is the bottom, but we could potentially come all the way back down to this wick, 0.019. Now that's, if we lose that, you're in some pretty big trouble here. But I don't anticipate that happening, so don't freak out too much. Again, buying at these times is much more uh, uh, helpful than selling at this time. So you don't want to be selling after your massive drops here. So AMP's down 82% from top to bottom. Currently, we're down 76%. But it's been a while since we've had one of those tsunamis, and AMP has just have a little bit more sell-off than a lot of coins. But we're battling our 21 day right now, so we're trying to. You can see like we're just basically going sideways. Okay, so let's look at the weekly, and you can see it becomes a little bit more evident on this kind of support block here. That's where we are, and you can see right at the 2.5 cent level, holding weekly support for about 6 weeks now. So we're getting a nice green candle so far. We want to see this continue to rise, and we need a weekly close above that 0.032 right here. This, wherever this candle closes at 32, right? If we close above that, then we're making our first higher high. We haven't put in a higher low yet. We've made a lower low, right, on the weekly. So something to keep in mind is just to make, you want to reverse this trend. So far, we're still in a downtrend. Based on this chart, we're making lows and lower lows. So in order to break this, at least break it, you want to stop the bleeding, you need to make a higher high. And higher high is, 0.033. We make the 33, and you at least stop the bleeding, and then you can focus on moving back up. And then your next resistance lines are, you're probably going to be hitting some kind of resistance right in this area, in this box as we move up. Why? Well, look at the support on the top. You got your kind of capitulation areas here before, next tsunami. So, and then, you tried to hold that again, then fell through it. So this is probably right around that 4 cent level will be, if AMP can manage to get back above here, then I think we can get cooking again. 5 cents, we can see those macro tsunami waves come back. But how long do we have until we can get up there? Well, we have, 40% move until we can get up there. But AMP is a little bit different animal than a lot of coins, because not a lot of coins just, pop 134% in 4 days, and, repeatedly, not just random. I mean, it seems like it does it time and time again, or at least it did back last 6 months, 8 months or so. So we need those back. And how do we get those back? Well, we got to grind up here, I would guess, over the next month or so, get above, this 4.5, 5 cent area, and then bring back the tsunamis. Yeah, the indicators over the price, sure. So let's remove these. So yeah, if you wanna say you wanted to overlay, let's look at whatever you want to do, the RSI. If you want to look overlay the RSI, you could say, if you right click up here, you'd notice that there's not areas to do that. You need to right click on the actual indicator. So you see how now you have a move to, right? If you didn't see that, see my cursor? It'll change to a hand when you got it. There you go. So now you right click on your mouse and you hit move to and existing pane above. There you go. Then you have it overlaid over your price if you wanted to do that. So some are helpful to do that. Some people like that, some people don't. If you like it, then there you go. If you don't, then don't do it. So that's how you do it. And then if you wanted one of these down here, you just got to hit your arrow and move it up until it's right under it, and then you can flop it up there. Otherwise, you gotta slide these up to whatever you want to overlay over the price. Then another helpful thing that we talk about in Telegram a lot is not always using candles. Sometimes just using a line chart can help you identify support and resistance levels a lot easier. So let's go look at Bitcoin, because most people are familiar with that price. So now you can see kind of a breakout level here, right? It's pretty easy to see. A lot of people can struggle with the candles, especially if you're newer. It's harder to see. But now look at the support and resistance, how much easier that is to see. You can clearly see we're coming up against resistance here, and you can clearly see the support level right back here. So if we break above this box, Bitcoin will break out of jail. I can't stress enough that if Bitcoin is up here, we are likely rolling. The bulls will knock down the fence and destroy pretty much all bears if you see us up in here. 47K level. A lot of people say, it's not 45, 46, 47, it's 50. There's nothing at 50, right? Psychological level maybe, okay. This is the level. If we close a weekly candle above 46, 47K, there will be a lot of people waiting on this, and there will be a lot of money coming in, and I think we're going to see some kind of massive explosion if this occurs. Now, if we come back down and get rejected, we got some work to do, and we can analyze that when we get to it. But on the weekly chart, it's not so cut and dry on the support levels. Now you got to remember too, when you put line charts on like this, it doesn't do open high and the price action. This is just closes, so this is just a weekly close. So something to consider. And there you go. So the weekly looks a little bit better there. You could probably even draw this a little bit more higher right there, right? See that? So still pretty significant level. There's our 21 week. That's our first step. If we overtake the 21 week, that's a big step in the right direction for the bulls. You guys are the top 10. We're already losing people. So I'll probably try to do these more, maybe on a weekly basis. Depending on if I get more than 10 people, we'll try again next week. I get that this is not optimal time, but you can rewatch these at a later date. I'm going to try to bookmark kind of where we talk about certain things. We'll see if that works out. Can you Joy, I can look at router protocol. Can you give me the symbol? I'm assuming this is it. I don't have a whole lot of history, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to do. But so these coins, it's not that I can't. It's too risky. There's no analysis you can really do on younger coins like this. I mean, we can go down to the lower time frames, but I mean, you're coming into a resistance. You're at resistance right now here. You can see this kind of block that you're in, right? And even if you're not in router protocol or have no interest, I mean, you can learn a lot off of random charts. I mean, here you go. If you can break above here, your next target's going to be up in here, this 530 area. If you break above that, that's going to be another level, though. Looking back at this initial drop here, right there. So I would say those are your two steps. If you break back below this, you want to hold your moving averages. You can pull up your moving averages, look at your indicators, your momentum. It's just tougher to see coins that don't have a lot of history, but I would suggest using your horizontal lines much more than your vertical, your diagonal lines rather. So that's where I would look for. If you get a breakout here, maybe you can get a nice little pop out of this. But if you close back under here and start falling and closing down, we could potentially put in even lower lows, or at least revisiting this $2 level. So that's kind of the risky run. It's kind of risk reward with these younger coins or coins that don't have a lot of history. Yeah, you can make a lot of money if you get in at the right time, but you're also risking them going to zero or never recovering against their all-time highs. So it's my 2 cents. Let's go look at the DXY. We haven't looked at that in a while. So DXY is somehow still putting in new highs. I'll never know how the US dollar is gaining strength, but okay. So looking at what we looked at last week is the 3-month chart, and we'll do a little refresher here. So going back 20 years, we've been in this downtrend, and horizontal lines usually not so great, but I would say if you can get a horizontal line or a diagonal line rather on a 20-year trend, then okay, you could probably use that with a little more certainty. So we've wicked up here, right? This could end up being a wick. We don't want to see it close up in here. So we still have a month. So this closes on April. It goes through March, close in April, 29 days, 8 hours from now. We want to see a wick. We do not want to see a candle closing right here, right? We want to maintain this, and if we get a rejection here going into Q2, maybe crypto can really start popping off here. 20 plus year downtrend here. We don't want to start getting antsy now, and I don't see why we would, but it's showing signs of strength. Unfortunately, it is. It's holding its 21-week EMA support line. It's trying to, we can remove this, right? It's putting in higher highs. This is what you would want to be looking at if you're in a coin, right? If you're in a trade here, this is exactly what you want to see to remain bullish, and it's simply doing that right now. Something's going to have to happen to cause the DXY to simply just capitulate. Look at the pandemic era, how much volatility we had here. So hopefully we get something like that, and this is hopefully like the last ditch effort that it had, and it was doing something similar then, right? It was looking really nice. Even super spiked up here in the pandemic era, and then super harsh rejection once people realized that monopoly dollars are not the best place to put your money. So hopefully somebody wakes up again in the not so distant future, and if the DXY drops, we all know crypto rocks. I recognize a lot of names on YouTube, and then I recognize the people that have had these conversations are different names on Telegram or so it's funny to see the two related. Yeah, I did VeChain a little bit earlier. All right, yeah, I'll see y'all on the next one if you gotta go. I get it. I know this is a weird time, but whatever. What else do we want to talk about? Ethereum, Bitcoin. We can glance at that. So if Bitcoin continues its massive, hopefully run to 100K or whatever, then this could come back down. It doesn't mean Ethereum's losing value. This is the ETH BTC valuation. We don't talk about this a lot, but I feel like this is important. Ethereum and Bitcoin make up a vast majority of crypto. So could we potentially come down here? And the answer is of course. But doesn't mean that Ethereum is dropping in value or Bitcoin's rising in value or anything like that. Just simply Bitcoin is outperforming Ethereum, and so far we're kind of seeing that. I mean, so maybe not today, but when those days that Bitcoin does those 10-15% moves, it's hard for anything, including Ethereum, to keep up, and that's when you see these drops. If Bitcoin's rising 10% in a day and Ethereum's rising 8% in a day, both are doing well, this valuation's still going down. Hopefully that makes sense to you. You need to, get that in your head that just because the ETH BTC valuation is trending down doesn't mean their valuations in US dollars is going down. So hopefully that helps somebody out there clear some stuff up. I've seen a lot of questions lately about that. So thanks all for joining. Appreciate y'all being here. I know it's the first live stream in a while, and I know it's an odd time for a lot of people. So you can watch this back at a later date if you want, and you have absolutely nothing to do. Let's go look at Link. So Link's struggled a lot more than most lately. The chart's simply not looking great, but a lot of coins are looking very similar, so it's okay. These are the hurdles that I drew yesterday on the video and Telegram. Join us on Telegram. I'm sure I feel like most of you are on Telegram already. Try to do a lot more helpful stuff there. So these are the hurdles, simply put, for Link to get more bullish. We need to recover all three of these. We did step one. We've cleared the first hurdle. The next one, we need to break free to 1775. And you can see the kind of resistance level there. And then our big one is going to be kind of breaking out of the $20 area again. Previous peak way back in summer of 2020. We need to break that. Hopefully we don't, we're not messing around with $20 level come August again. That would be 2 years, basically unchanged price level. Think about that. That would be not what you want to be in for your ROI, but Link I think has a great future and will be valued properly at some point. I just don't know when that time is coming. Hopefully with staking would help that. I think staking will help that a lot. But just based on the chart, if you're just looking at charts and not looking at names or valuations or what it's going to do, the chart is simply just not looking great for ROI right now. So take with that information what you will. There you can kind of see your levels that you're trying to do. Break above this, and really the key level, just break above that $20 level. That would get us probably back above our 21 week again. And it takes another couple weeks. That 21 week EMA will be right at that $19-20 level. So hopefully the weeks ahead, hopefully we've had our capitulation down to this kind of zone before we took off last time. Hopefully we're getting ready to do something similar. And, I think the odds are there as long as Bitcoin remains relatively bullish. What else we got? Look at Ethereum. What time is it? 11. We've been going for not that long, an hour. So Ethereum, like I said, Ethereum's going to struggle against Bitcoin until Bitcoin calms down. Ethereum's usually kind of the last laugh, so to speak. I think Ethereum will do very well in the future, just like it always does. Everyone always counts Ethereum out, and it's not doing much until Bitcoin gets super bullish, calms out. Ethereum will have its day again, but I would find it hard. I would take pretty much anyone's bet that wants to say, in the next 18 months, Ethereum won't be well over 10,000. Well over 10,000. I would take anyone's bet on that. I think Ethereum will easily clear 10,000 once we move back up again. Once we get to all-time highs, I think Ethereum will absolutely explode. Again, take with that what you will. I think 10,000 will be taken out pretty easily for Ethereum. We're just kind of in this long consolidation phase here. You can see basically for almost a year now, we've just kind of basically trending sideways. And that's the same for Bitcoin as well. We haven't really had any substantial moves in some time. If you look at it on a big enough scale, it's basically sideways. So we're just gearing up for our next rally. And the next rally for Bitcoin should take us well over 100K. The next rally for Ethereum should take us well over 10K. And those are, I think, pretty conservative numbers. So, yeah, we just need to overtake the 21 week again for Ethereum, 3,200 or so. And, then we can set our sights back on all-time highs again. How did I learn TA? Yeah, basically just self-taught. I just watched read books, taught, watched a bunch of videos. Yeah, just years of practicing. That's all. Nothing secret. Just a lot of repetition. Yeah, I like that idea, Joey. Recapping all the indicators and going a little bit more deep into them. Yeah. Okay, good question. The total market cap, where could we see that going? Um, well, to put it bluntly and to answer it quite quickly, I would say 10 trillion. That's rough 5x from here. So if the total market cap's going to do 5x, then I would say the majority of coins will do 5x if you could deduce that math. Um, beyond that, people calling for 100x coins, stop, put the smoking down. There's in my book, in my opinion, the 100x's are likely gone. You might see some that are new coins that have some kind of amazing use case that we haven't thought of yet, and maybe a few. But thinking that something in the top 100 is going to 100x is pretty insane. A 10 trillion market cap sometime in the next 12 to 18 months. I think it could happen even that quick. So we're looking at 20. Let's look at it here. So we're looking at next summer, um, maybe by, that's probably a little soon. Yeah, maybe something in there. You can see how potentially we break out of these highs that you can really get moving again. I mean, it's happened before, right? We don't even have to do anything close to this to get there, right? There's the pandemic drop to the upswing. There's 2,200% to get to 10 trillion. It's 450% from here, right? So that's seems relatively doable, right? 450%. I mean, geez. I mean, you can even take it since the 21-week EMA to the top, and there's over 1,000% as well. So that's even half, doing less than half of that. Just that initial move even gets us to 10 trillion. And that's, again, it's going to depend on how long it takes us to get there. The longer it takes us to get there, I think the higher the chance of the possibility of we even break 10 trillion. So I would say conservative, somewhere between 7 to 8. If we do it earlier and we do some kind of a more parabolic move, well, I don't think that's really going to happen anymore. I would highly suspect that we don't have any more blow off tops like this anymore. I think the ship's getting too big. Certainly, when there's $10 trillion, highly unlikely we're gonna have a blow off top. If that makes sense, the more money you have, the less volatile the asset. A lot of people get that backwards. So, the more money we get into, I think you're going to see more and more rounded tops versus spiky tops, if that makes sense. So, might not even look like a top, right? I think tops will be kind of subjective in the future. So here's 2023. So rough estimate if you had to look it out. I mean, maybe we just do something like that, right? And just kind of the price kind of spikes along here, up and down. Obviously, something I don't know about this guy, but you get the general idea, right? Something like that, and just to kind of a smoother line up, a slow grind. It could potentially take us another 6 months to even get back to all-time highs. So you got to be prepared for that. As far as total market cap, now there's going to be coins that move faster than others. And this isn't just my opinion. I watch other people, my time being around. I mean, I've been around in crypto for 5 years now, so I lived through all of this, and I've seen a lot of sentiment, and just based on all the people that I followed, the information that I do believe 10 trillion is possible, and I do believe that parabolic tops are probably out the window. Be rare. Even this kind of move, I think we'll probably see more of a slow, methodical move up versus any kind of spikes anymore. This is about as spiky as we're gonna get right here. So I think more and more tops. The higher we go, the more trillions we have, the more likely a top will not look like a top. Hopefully that helps. Yeah, the best word of advice I could give you, all 7 of you that are watching, is don't try to follow the less of the people that are called for just absurdities. I know it's hard and it's fun to follow those people that and that's why they have those followers. Everyone wants to put $1,000 in and have 1 million in a few months, and people buy into that because that's human emotion, and usually those people are bankrupt before they can blink their eyes. But just I would say try to follow the people that you should relatively easily be able to see someone that knows just a little bit about a little bit, right? Don't have to be an expert. There's certainly people smarter than other people, been in here longer. But again, just because you've been in it a long time doesn't necessarily mean you know better than someone that's only been doing it for 6 months, right? So there's a lot of people like that. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I think gold will still do good. I know a lot of people give gold crap, but gold's not going anywhere. It's just it's kind of more of a store of value versus I wouldn't be looking at gold as to make a bunch of profits, but to protect your money. If you make a bunch in crypto and you want to store it in there, then make a slow gain, and um, then yeah, I think gold is going to be here to stay. But as far as investing in it to thinking you're going to make obscene money is obscene. All right, good comments, guys. Thanks for the feedback. It's probably the worst time to live stream crypto, right? In a down market, we're down like 70-80% from a lot of coins in the middle of the day for the United States, and relatively unknown YouTuber. This is probably pretty good stats, 9 people. So again, appreciate you guys for being here. I would watch your meme coins. You know, they can do well, but you know, you're gonna see booms and busts. I would just stick to, you know, everyone's plan is different, but you know, stick to ones that have good charts. I would say put less emphasis on the fundamentals and stick to the charts. Put it against Bitcoin. That's your step. That should be your step one to enter any coin, any new coin. How's it looking against Bitcoin? If it's downtrending against Bitcoin, you can skip right over it. If it's uptrending against Bitcoin, you've passed stage one, then go look at it against, you know, the stable coins or the US dollar, or, you know, whatever fiat you want to look at. Then it should still be uptrending, right? So that's my 2 cents for how to quickly see if you should get in a coin. And, you know, I mean, Chainlink is a perfect example of all the use case on the planet, and just simply by ROI is just not working out well for us. So just look at those, how much sideways. I think it will do another one of these moves, but it might not. You have to be aware, it might not be this cycle. And by this cycle, I mean the next, you know, parabolic top. Link might only get back to $40, $50, $60, maybe it gets to $100. That's still not that much ROI based on some other coins, right? Some coins will do, you know, 10x. Okay, I would say there's probably a handful of coins that'll do a 10x. Will Link do a 10x? I don't know. Based on this chart, it doesn't seem like it's the most likely horse I would pick. So obviously I'm a Chainlink fan, and I think it, you know, in years to come, maybe 10 years, maybe it's worth 1,000. Okay, I wouldn't bet against that at all. In fact, I think the odds of it being worth 1,000 in 10 years are high, but it might take 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years to get there. Okay, so just my 2 cents that just because something has a great use case does not mean it has to perform well in your portfolio as far as ROI. So that's my 2 cents and 20 cents. All right, MATIC. Yeah, look at that. Look at that move MATIC did. The same time that Link went to, you know, a 2 or 3x, MATIC did. I mean, look at this move that MATIC did. MATIC pulled off just 12,000%, right, from the beginning of 2021 to May of 2021. Let's go look at what Link did. Just case in point here. So 2021, what did I say? Right in this area to May of 2021. So we're looking at, I mean, look at that. It's mind blowing, really. So 300% versus 12,000%. Let that sink in. If we all just would have bought MATIC instead of Link back then, we'd all be a little bit different, right? So amazing. That's my point. Now, I'm not saying MATIC doesn't have any use case, or it's better than Chainlink, but follow the hotness as long as it's got, you know, good fundamentals. Now, yeah, I was part of that boat, so that's why I could say it. So I bought way more Chainlink than MATIC back then, and if I would have flipped that, I would, yeah, I'd be sitting in my Ferrari streaming, or sitting on top of it, dancing on it. Who cares? Buy 20 Ferraris. Top 5 alts. Top 5 alts. I don't know why I said it in that weird accent. Well, I don't know if let's not count Ethereum as an alt, but that's up there. You should certainly have some Ethereum. My top 5 for the next, I assume you mean for the next kind of move up, right? So for the next all-time highs and plus. So I go ADA, MATIC, Probably AVAX I'd probably throw in there. That's 3. Um, it's kind of subjective. I really like Engine. I think the chart. I think it has a lot of potential still. Uh, normally I would say Dot or Link, but their charts just are not looking like it right now. Maybe that changes. Maybe you asked me this again in a month or two, and I might have a different answer. But Harmony One's looking good, and then I would have to go with Luna. That would kind of be 5, I think, right? So if I narrowed down to 5 just real quick, I would say that would be it. And Luna is just looking not just like short term hot. The chart's looking great. Um, AVAX Mana's kind of looking good as well. Yeah, go with those. I mean, I'll keep going as long as I got somebody on here. Let's see what else we got. What haven't we covered? So let's look at MATIC against Bitcoin, right? So a lot of coins struggle against Bitcoin as they're getting started because he's a big, scary coin. But then when you see these massive breakouts against Bitcoin, those are the coins you want to be getting into. And we've just been consolidating for 6-8 months now for MATIC before I believe its next move is coming against Bitcoin. So, and this likely won't even happen until Bitcoin can settle down above its 21 week. So a lot of coins will just be taking a back seat to Bitcoin. Certainly against the Bitcoin's valuation, whatever coin you're looking at. So yeah, MATIC could potentially be coming down here as we've looked at. I know it's I'll zoom in here. MATIC could potentially break. It looks like it's closed under here a little bit, but we did that a little bit back in here too. So MATIC Bitcoin could be come down here again. Yeah. How much longer? Now again, that doesn't mean that MATIC's losing value at all. That's another 40% down against Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes on a massive, keeps doing these massive 10-15% days, altcoins find it hard to keep up. Although MATIC's done pretty good to try to keep up with Bitcoin and just kind of being kind of an oscillator here, right? See how it's kind of just found its equilibrium here, going sideways. This is good sign. You want to do that, and then maybe we have this final kind of capitulation again against Bitcoin, or Bitcoin has this kind of move up, and we do something like this, and then do kind of repeat history here, and then if MATIC can pull off another, I mean, look at this against Bitcoin over 1,000%, 10,000% that was against Bitcoin, pretty impressive. So you want your coins doing maybe not that well, but just a general uptrend against Bitcoin is about as big of advice as I can give you. Against Ethereum, if it's doing that against Ethereum, I mean, excellent as well. So keep those on my back burner just for that reason. So let's see what else we got. You can go look at, I mean, ADA is kind of at its macro support level. Hopefully it's in the despair mode. And what do I mean by that? Just despair is usually the final kind of bubble down before you kind of return to your average for a little bit and then start moving your next move again. So, I mean, ADA is one of the best performing coins since the pandemic dropped. So a lot of people are thinking, why does ADA never do anything? But then you can show them the 18,000% move in 500 days. And, they're usually at a loss for words, but because most people that bought ADA were buying ADA $2 to $3, and they've been handed their their pants on fire. I don't know what analogy to throw in there, but I mean, look how many people are happy with ADA. I mean, myself included. I was buying ADA back over here, and yeah, I watched it come and do all this, but then I bought some more down in here. So I mean, my average for ADA is in this zone, so I'm still pretty happy, right? Even though we've lost all this. Right? Who cares? I think the relative bottom is close. Look how long you had to accumulate ADA under $1. Not only under $1, but I mean 10 cents is right here. You had like over a year to accumulate ADA under a dime. Okay, if you bought ADA under a dime, you could care less if it's come down a little bit. Okay, you're still up 10x. So buying at the right times is everything, and hopefully this downtrend since November or basically all since August against ADA. Hopefully you've started to learn some things, that nothing lasts forever, and selling is way more hard, way more grammar, way more difficult than buying. I think probably everyone would agree with that, right? Selling is more difficult than buying. Yeah, this is what I do full time. I don't. Yeah, I've done this for almost couple years now. So yeah, I don't have any other income than this. I think we peaked out at 10 people, so great success. Yeah, I think a lot of coins will have breakout moments. So I know you mentioned 1 inch in Celsius and stuff, but there'll be coins that do like pull a Solana and just magically 10x in like 30, 60 days. Those coins will still be around, but people calling for 100x's out of something in the top 10 is just instant unsubscribe from me if you see that. Those people have no idea what they're talking about. And you got to realize most people that shill things are doing it for their benefit and not for anything else. So that's why I just really stick to top coins and don't worry about the rest of it. It's just not worth it to me. I'm in a different place than a lot of people, so I'm just more in the protect my money and grow it a little bit slowly and be more safe. Some people try to play the hot lotto ticket, and sometimes that works out, but I would say have a plan to both sell and enter. If you're buying something, you should be not emotional about it. You shouldn't be happy to be buying. It should be like a transaction, just like you should have basically zero emotion when you buy or sell. If you're excited, you're probably FOMOing in a little too high. Hopefully that helps you guys as well. Buying should be just a routine thing that you do because you see something in the charts, because that's what your strategy says to do. You should not be happy or sad or excited or any. You should have almost no emotion when you click buy or sell. It should be just a simple grocery store transaction because of what you see in the charts, what you see in your indicators, what you see in your strategy. If you have a strategy to make, 200% on that coin, and 220%, you're up 220%, and you're not out. That's greed setting in. Yeah, I wonder why the stream's not working. Maybe it's maybe YouTube's like, yeah, nah, we're not putting you on here. But I don't know. I'll have to check into that though. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, for me, I think Bitcoin's still the safest play and the most logical play right now versus buying into alts. Because if Bitcoin gets rejected and goes back down to say 40K, let's look at this again because it's important. Um, so buying Bitcoin right now is actually not a bad idea. Not financial advice, but so you could put, if you buy into Bitcoin now, buying at these kind of resistance support levels is how you do it. And so like your stop loss if you buy it now would be kind of like 39.5 for me. And yeah, we're up a little bit now, but so 39.5. Let's see how much loss you. So you're about what 11% loss. You're risking 11%, but if we break out here, I think it'll get moving fast. So even if you want to be even tighter with it, so we're either gonna have a breakout or a breakdown, in my opinion. But we could range for a little bit of a while. After you have these breakouts, you can range a little sideways before you make a decision, whether you're going up again or down again. This time we went down, but this kind of 40, 39.5. Let me draw this here. This is the kind of levels you want to be watching for. So that's we could come back down here and still be okay, and we still have our higher low, and potentially we're right at the cusp here of a decision point whether we're going to come back down or not. So you can even see the candle today. This daily candle is a spinning top. We have a very thin body. We have a leg on the bottom, a leg on the top, about equidistant. Same as back here. See this? Indecision. We tried to go, and then when you see these long wicks and a close well under here, those are the issues you got. So see how we closed this candle underneath both of those? That's a warning sign. So if we have this candle and we close here, and then our next candle we close, like, say at 43.1 underneath that candle and this candle, that's a sign that we're probably going lower. So just studying a little chart patterns can do wonders for you. I would say support and resistance, making trades at support and resistance levels with stop loss is your best bet. So a Bitcoin is certainly the safest play right now, because if we lose this, we come back down, and Bitcoin comes down, say 7% again, altcoins are going to get way harder than 7%. And Bitcoin can still be okay and recover quickly. And if it recovers and goes back up another 10, 11%, like one of those days, not many altcoins are going to go up 10 or 11%. So this is why, right now, at least for me, Bitcoin is the safest play. So I have a lot of Bitcoin. I'm Bitcoin heavy right now. I still have a lot of MATIC, because the MATIC seems to be doing better than a lot as far as holding its line, but I'm still Bitcoin heavy. And so if you're in Bitcoin, when do we come out of Bitcoin? Well, it's when we get back above something like this, at least 1 weekly candle, 2 weekly candles, and then holding stable. This is when altcoins will fly right here. This is ideal altcoin season when you start brewing right here. So when you kind of level off and then go sideways and then show some more bullish strength, that gives the market confidence that you're going to hold this bullish level, and altcoins start soaring right in this area right here. So until we do that, I mean, Bitcoin's really the safest play. Not just my book. I mean, that's what the charts say for the past 10 years. That's not just my opinion. That's weird. It wouldn't let you click. That's probably, I'll go with that. The reason why we only have 7 people here. Sure. I don't know why it's not showing on YouTube. I'm gonna have to investigate that, because obviously, if we could get more people in here, that'd be way better. But hopefully we get some people watching it back or something. Let's see. What is taking profits? A specific schematic after 20%, 40% increase, exponentially taking profits, the higher it goes. So I don't have a specific, dead stick to strategy that I do. It depends on kind of my trade, what I see in the candles, what the indicators are looking like then. There's certainly warning signs, which will obviously try to tip you guys off more better this time, more better, as we move back up. But yeah, I don't really have it's best to really just take profits as you move higher. You want to be selling as you go up. Most people just sell after it starts dropping, and that's not the way to do it. And also conversely, you want to be buying on the way down, and not to continue. Prices drop because the majority of people, the 97% people that lose money, are selling at low levels, like right now. That's why we keep dropping and have these uncertainty times, and the fear and greed index continues to be in fear, and is the herd, the 97% continue to sell into fear, and you need to be buying into fear. It's hard. It's much easier to say than do, but so yeah, selling on the way up. You want to let them run. You don't want it to sell too soon. But there's so many different things you can look for, and being oversold in the RSI isn't necessarily the thing that you want to be looking for, or overbought rather. You don't want to ever just trade off of what one indicator says. You want as many indicators as you can have saying similar things. And then not only that, you want to use those to confirm your feelings, or you can have gut feelings or whatever, but when you start getting putting in this low, so how we got this top and we took out that's a warning sign. But a lot of people saw took in some profits in here that rode this wave up, but a lot of people bought it in this area, and then there's so many. This is not just a cut and dry thing when to take profits. It's generally on the way up. Generally, when you've had an extended period of time moving up, and when you're obviously in profit, you don't want to be cutting your profits too short, but setting stop losses. You don't want to like be selling as you run into your target. You want to let it go through the target and then catch it as it comes back down, right? So you want to let it run, because if you hit it too soon and it's just getting started, like Luna right now, we don't know how Luna's gonna go, how high Luna's gonna go, right? We looked at some indicators earlier that it looks like it could be just getting started. Then we looked at another indicator, it looks like it could be kind of topping out. So you want to have a target price in mind around support resistance, and then kind of set your limits there. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. So like say at this area, so back in July, right? It would have been a great time to enter right here, not because it was the bottom, right? You don't know this is coming. You don't know if this is you don't pretend you don't know this is here. This is still an excellent area to be buying, all in this area. Why? Well, because you set your stop loss right at massive support level right here. So you set your stop loss. This is a huge level. So stop loss at, say, you want to be safe, like 27.5 even, right there. If you fall outside of 27.5, you're likely going much lower. Same thing holds true now. I mean, if you're wanting to get into Bitcoin now, let me put this on auto here, right? The level to do that at is it's easy. I mean, 40K was a level, but we're now through that. But if we go back down and we come back into this box, buying here is a very safe play. Why do I say that? It's not because we can't go lower, right? It's because you can put your stop loss right outside of all these wicks. And if we lose, if we start going down into 32K, we're very likely going back to this level. And then if we lose that level, we're very likely going much lower than that. So, buying at these support resistance zones, dollar cost averaging, at the top of the box, do a little bit. As we come in here, you do a little bit. Then if it goes back up, you're good. You got some. If it comes back down, you can get more. The lower it goes. That's how you kind of do it, just in a kind of brief nutshell. Buying at support and resistance levels. So buying at 40K is easy, because not that you know which way is going. It's that you have those critical support levels, that 40K, like kind of that psychological level, that's 39.5 even. So as we were going up here, it's an easy buy, because if you get rejected at 40, you just put your stop loss at 39.5, you're going to come back down here easy. More likely than not, right? All you have is the odds. Nobody's 100% in trading. But you want to this is how you put your odds in your favor, because you're risking very minimal, and you have a potential tons to gain. So people that entered at 40K, you're already up a little bit, right? You could swing trade this and have your stop loss. You've made 12%. Or it doesn't sound like a lot, but hey, how many of you would take another 12% on your portfolio right now? Okay, so maybe you have a stop loss here in case we do get rejected, and then you lock in 10% gains. and then you go wait till the next trade. You have to have patience. Most traders just lack patience or lack the discipline to learn more. Learning, patience, that's how you become a full-time trader. There's no other recipe. There's no other quick get rich. You have to learn. You have to have patience. That's all. It's a boring recipe. Everyone left. we got a couple people. So all in Shiba Inu. I did catch a piece back in October of Shiba. It was a gamble as hell. Let me go look at it. I have it here somewhere. I thought I had Sheep. Do you guys see it? Damn it. Let's go look at it. I should post it in the Telegram. I just never done it because it was just a speculative gamble, which I definitely don't teach. But yeah, I had a lot of indicators going off on me kind of right in here. And I certainly don't recommend it. But I bought in at 0.09, the 900, which was like somewhere around 900 right in here. Then I rode all this up. And I watched it come down a little bit, and I sold, I think, right in here. But I made a bunch off of Shiba, so maybe I'll post that in there. I think I got close to, I think it was between 6 to 10 billion Shiba. Stupid. It worked out, but only for the 3 of you that are on here watching. Let's see if I can find it on my phone. What else do y'all want to talk about? I guess we can be about done, but I was going to show you my Shiba order. You guys won't believe it. All right, so there's all right, see if I can see it here. You might not be able to see it. Shiba at the top. There's sold 6 billion at. It don't even show the price because it's so little. We're at 6 billion sell on November something. Hopefully you saw that. Let's see what else I got. See, I tried to get 10 billion. Guess that's like a whale, right? It was definitely gambling, and I don't recommend it. But yeah, I bought 6 billion October 11th, and I bought another 4 billion October 11th. So I had 10 billion Shiba. Don't tell anyone. All right, I guess we'll kind of end it. We've kind of talked about everything. We can look at more indicators. Since there's only a couple of you here, I mean, we might as well just give away secrets. But I would say the most undervalued indicator, one of the most ones, is the ADX and the I. It can really help you determine kind of the sentiment on any time frame. It's one of those few indicators that's kind of helpful in any time frame. It's very concrete on the weekly. But even on the hourly, you could see trouble brewing or not. We want to see the ADX and the I. When your orange is trending up, that's the way it's going. So this is the DXY. You can see why the DXY continues up. I mean, the bulls are in charge so far, but the bears are creeping up. So we want this cross on the DXY. But we can go look at like Bitcoin. And you can see, we've got a bullish cross here a little bit, but you want more conviction. You want to break through up, and then you want separation. The ADX is still simmering down, so nothing too bullish there yet. The weekly for Bitcoin, if we get this cross, I will be full bull mode. If we get an ADX and DI cross on the weekly chart, it's probably game over. And if we get this cross, I would say we're over 47K. We're above our 21-week EMA. So I would be paying close attention to that, just between me and you. ADX and DI can help greatly determine, bigger moves. And you can see, like, on the daily, it's still kind of hit or miss. When you get this cross and the ADX is crossing down, see we're trending down here. So you generally want a cross green followed by a move up with the ADX. So that's kind of what we're looking for. And you can see that back in, remember how well we did on October? Look at that. The bull cross followed by the ADX followed us up. That's huge, heavy hitting power. That's Mike Tyson power right there. Yeah, we got to wait and see what the we got to wait and see what the weekly close is like for Bitcoin. But so far so good. I would really like us to close near the 21 week. This would be huge. If we can do that, maybe next week we have a great week. Let's see what else we got. I mean, the TDI, maybe you guys haven't seen this yet. The TDI, Traders Dynamic Index, it can be helpful. So it's kind of gives you like these kind of rough buy signals. Again, on the weekly, it's pretty solid. And we just had that at the close of last week. So when the red crosses the green, that's your kind of buy signal. And then these outside lines, if you're wondering, if you're new, that these are the Bollinger Bands. So when you're outside of them, and then you have a cross, that's usually pretty good. Remember July? How well we did in July? Look how far outside we got of it. Way down, way oversold. Then we had our buy cross in July on the TDI, and excellent. And then we on November got outside of it a little bit, started coming back in, and there's your kind of get the hell out sign. And it, unfortunately, you kind of missed the initial wave, but that's pretty big confirmation of more downside action if we're doing this on the weekly. So hopefully, being outside, oversold, extended on the TDI back in mid-January, came back up, kind of maybe our cracking the egg open, and then busting through like the Velociraptor in the first Jurassic Park. Weird analogies. So what we want to see next out of this is more separation. That would be great. Break through to this top zone, and then work our way back up here. If we do this over the next, all throughout March, and we end up April up in here, I mean, we're probably, I would say we're over 50K plus if we do this. So yeah, good signs happening on the weekly scale, on across the board. All right, it says my streaming status is now poor, so I don't know what's going on, but I don't know if YouTube's having something or it's probably me. Hopefully it still looks okay. So Polkadot, we haven't talked about Polkadot much, but that's just not looking like the chart's just not looking that great right now. So yeah, unfortunately, I have a bunch of Polkadot. I'm probably looking to change some of that over to either stable coins or Bitcoin, or maybe I don't know, something soon. Just Polkadot's just looking like it's struggling a little bit, and the level for DOT right now is, I mean, I wouldn't turn anywhere close to macro bull for DOT until we can get above 24 again. So I don't mind, hating on a little bit of coins as long as I have them. I don't like hating on coins that I don't have because I don't know that much about them. But DOT, yeah, I bought some back in here and I didn't sell, and I probably should have gotten out when we broke through this. But I just kind of do more long term, and I don't really care about the short term. But looking back now, yeah, I still make mistakes. So dot I probably should have gotten out of right here. I entered right around this 20-25 zone, and yeah, I've been taking a bath on it for a while, but we'll see. I think dot will do good long term, but um, yeah, short term, it's this chart when you start continuously breaking these big support levels. It's usually not boding well. So, and then we got rejected again when we came back and recovered it. Then you just kind of just ride your losses down. So hopefully looking to, maybe I'll sell some when we get back up to this 22-ish level. Just take a little bit of a loss and take my medicine and get on to something hopefully with a better ROI. MATIC, Engine, ADA's still kind of on standby for me for a recovery. I'd like to see ADA get above like 110, 120 for me to get more bullish again. Link, I'm still on standby till that's above 20. Luna's kind of the hot hand right now, so maybe I get into that. Or AVAX. I think AVAX will recover very well in altcoin season. Mana's kind of my dark horse a little bit. Axie Infinity right in there. Yeah, I like that, but I'd like to see Axie Infinity get back above 65 before I really do a whole bunch of buy-in. Yeah, I think I like Matic a lot too because you can earn over, it's almost 9.5% interest I can earn on Celsius on Matic. So I mean that's pretty substantial to me. So I make a lot on that. So that's another reason. And Matic tends to be better performer than a lot right now. I mean it's up 2.5, over 2% on the day, and a lot of coins are just kind of fizzling out or not doing much at all. So, and it seems to do that more often than not. So, I definitely like Matic more than a lot right now. Hopefully that helps. Yeah, the TDI has the Bollinger Bands and like buy them, like kind of like Scarn. So, I started looking more into it, and it seems pretty healthy. So, uh, yeah, I just started adding it to my lists. And you can have a bunch of tools in your toolkit. You can use 50 indicators, but generally you want to use like, just a handful and using look at them side by side, and you want them in agreement. And I certainly don't use indicators to trade, but I use indicators to confirm kind of what I'm seeing in the charts. So usually I only use, just this to make a trade, or at least to get a trade thesis, and then then use my indicators. Once I'm like, should I enter now? Then go look at your indicators, and if they're all saying everything's looking good, then I buy. And if they're saying everything's looking bad, then I might have some more work to do. If it should be clear cut, it should be entering a trade just guessing. It should be at a resistance level more oftentimes than not, for a buy, and it should be at a support level for a sell. And then if you break the support, you set your stop loss to sell. If you break resistance, then you buy in. It's hard to do, easy to say, but that's trading doesn't have to be overly complex. People just make it overly complex or get their emotions involved, and that's where the trouble starts and usually ends. Buying on emotion. If you're happy entering a trade and excited, you're doing it wrong. You're entering usually in FOMO, and when the masses are, clapping and, up only mode is not your mode to be entering. Which TDI do I use? I think I just typed it in, right? Obviously not that one. I mean, I think it's this one. I don't know how to find. I don't. That's a good question. I don't know how to find which one I picked. Let's look at it here. I think it's just the first one, and it should default. I didn't change anything, so that should just be it. Let me know if you have trouble, or send me a message on Telegram or whatever. I could look more into it. All right, so I like to look at the weekly scale for NKN. I like to look at the weekly, the big picture first, and then kind of zoom in. So yeah, it looks like we're kind of rough bottoming here, right, at this level. So here's your initial move up. That's what you want to be looking for a bottom, for entry. So yeah, if you're looking to buy this right now, any coin like this, these are great buy levels. Why? Not because we think it's the bottom. It's because your risk reward ratio is maximized right here. You can buy here, set your stop loss here. If you break 15 cents, you're going significantly lower based on this chart, right? So yeah, you're risking, if you're buying right now, right, you're risking, okay, 25%. I guarantee a 25% loss would feel better than just blindly throwing money and losing, entering here and then being down, 80% or more, right? You could have, someone bought this top, being down, 88%, right? Take 25%, guaranteed over 88% maybe, ride the ship down with the Titanic here, right? So you enter here, and or at the bottom of these levels, these are ideal because this is your macro support. So you could have bought down at the 17-cent level, something right on there, and then set your stop loss still right at 15 cents. You stop loss at 15 cents. If you break outside of 15 cents, you have a ways to go. Okay, so buying here, great setup. These are the setups you want to be looking for. Your next step is 25 cents. And that might likely be at your 21-week EMA, if it takes another couple weeks here. If you break outside of that, this long consolidation is kind of how coins recover and then make their next breakout. And if you put it on a bigger scale, you could see that this sideways action, breakout, sideways action, breakout. That's how this works. More often times than not, you're at your 21 months. You don't want to be closing under here more often than not. But you can see that, right? You can see this low support here, right around this 23 cent on the monthly, right? And you don't always have to use this defined line. Like a lot of people use these defined lines. Much better to use these kind of zones. So right in here is your buying opportunities. Set your stop losses right under here, 15 cents. Doesn't get any more clear cut than that. And then you have potential to make, hundreds or thousands of percent gains. And all you're risking is, 25%. I would take that risk reward ratio any day of the week. So hopefully that helps you. Now let's go look at the daily and zoom in here. Again, look at that. You don't even have to change these boxes on the when they're adding up on the daily, the weekly, the monthly, all at the same spot. You can be sure that that's a good zone. That's clear, crystal clear right there. So we're battling the 21-day EMA. If we could break out again above this box, it can get moving again. And you just want to take out, again, reverse these lows. We've kind of bottomed here. A lot of people say this is a double bottom. It's not a double bottom yet. You have, in order to be a double bottom, which a lot of traders get this wrong and just shows their ignorance, right? You can tell traders' ignorance about, the terminology they use time to time. So is this a double bottom? No. A lot of people will say this is a double bottom. How do we know it's a double bottom? I'm glad you asked. It's if you make a higher high, then it's a double bottom. Until you take this level out, this is not a double bottom. It's just multi-tests. You're just retesting. It's a retest of that bottom. That's nothing more. Double bottom is only confirmed after you make a higher high. Then it's a double bottom. Boom. I'm going to have to look that guy up. A German YouTuber called Haas sounds excellent. I mean, his name is 50 gold stars already. So, yeah, stop. You got to get out of the up only mode. It's hard to do. It's easy to follow those people. When I started, that's all I was doing. I was just looking for, I would Google like every day back in 2017, Bitcoin price prediction, Ethereum, how high can we go? All that stuff. So Ethereum, if you don't know, Ethereum was my first coin that I bought. I bought that back in 2017. Thought I was a genius. I made a bunch of money. Then I lost a bunch of money because I didn't know 2018 was the bear market, and I rode it all the way down. Then that's where I started learning because I lost all my, I lost everything a couple times when I didn't have it to lose. And then I was like, well, instead of instead of, just blindly throwing market money at the market again, invest in, education. And then it's amazing how much you can learn in not that much time if you're, committed to it. And, I saw the potential and I invested, and my big breakout happened. And it's not that long ago, right? You can make massive life changes with a little bit of money at the right time. And I bought Ethereum Christmas Day in 2019. So, I mean, at $125 with all the money I could save. I sold my house. I put it all in that. And, that kind of got me to where I'm in today. It's just, you could probably imagine the math on that. I also bought Bitcoin in the bear market of 2018. And I sold a little too soon, but at 3,800. And I mean, I have proof on all those trades, so I could show you proof if you want to see those. But I don't know if I've ever mentioned the Bitcoin thing, but I bought Bitcoin in 2018 at 3,800. I bought Ethereum, a lot of Ethereum, and Christmas Day of 2019 at $125. And that's both of those times. I can't tell you the market sentiment, how bad it was. Nothing close to it, way worse than today. People legitimately thought Bitcoin and Ethereum could go to zero. And, the more people you listen to, the more you started believing it yourself. But, it's, the signs were there that, the bottom has got to be close. So, yeah, obviously it's risky, and it's the hardest times to buy are usually your most profitable. And maybe some of you, maybe one of the four of you has experienced that. But, buying when no one else is buying, on times when nobody else wants it, and, doesn't mean that it's the best time, but usually your most memorable things happen during those times. So that this is kind of the way I brought that up, is looking at this. This seems like a pretty good level here. Okay, let's go look at some indicators. Now, usually you want to have you want to be buying like when your RSI is ultra low, when your stochastic is ultra low, when everything just seems like it's abysmal. Those are usually the times, right? And you can see the RSI right here back in January 22, January 22nd, right? Let's go look at the price. So January 22nd, I mean, yeah, we're pretty much, doesn't mean it's the absolute bottom, right? We went a little bit lower, but that's a generally good time to be buying. You don't want to ever be buying when your RSI is, over 80. Okay, that's just a general thought. And usually, this is when, everyone and their brother is buying, and that's why it does that, right? Look at your indicators here. I mean, everything is cranked out beyond belief. RSI was at 87, almost 90. Look at the TDI, way above the Bollinger Bands. I mean, I bet you can even put the Bollinger Bands on here. Right, let's put the bands on. Let's see where they're. You got to take it off log scale. Don't use Bollinger Band on log scale. In for a trippy ride. So let's go look at it. Back when your RSI was 87. I mean, Jesus, look how far outside you got on these 50% outside your Bollinger Bands. You better be taking profit as fast as you can enter an order. Okay, 50% above your Bollinger Bands. That's when you get out. I mean, damn, if you haven't taken profit already, right, you should always be taking profit when you're, 10, 20, 30% outside of these bands. There's another 50%. You better be taking profits when those happen. Doesn't mean it's the top, but that's when you go back and look at your RSIs, right? Here's your crank out. Put it on a 3-day. 3-day, give you even more confirmation of when to get out, right? If you're getting the signs on the daily, I'm not sure what the hell happened here. There we go. Okay, if you're getting the signs on the daily that you're overextended here, look at April 7th right here. Look at that 3-day candle. 150% in 3 days. There's another sign, right? So on the 3-day, you're even getting cranked out right here. 90s on the 3-day RSI. I dare you to show me anything that didn't end in catastrophe after 90s on the RSI. Those are, if you're getting the signal on the daily, you flip to the 3-day. You get on the 3-day, it's time. It's time to be selling your bags to the idiots. And unfortunately, most of the idiots buy right here. So, and then they wonder why it doesn't do anything, or they get pissed off. That's the worst coin ever, because they bought here and they're still holding down here, right? So, people that bought here are these people that sell here, right? Smart money. So it's okay to make mistakes. Learn from your mistakes. So if you bought too high, guess what? Guess where your opportunity is now? You're at your opportunity now. So set your stop loss down here. Not financial advice. This is how you do it. Peace and love to the 4 of you on here. I don't care if it's one person. I'll help you as long as one person's watching. Actually, the reason I'm doing this is, like, I made YouTube videos last week. I made like 10 YouTube videos. I lost 10 subscribers. Oh, other thing I want to talk about for a couple of you that are on here. This chart that sometimes you see going around, and I've even looked at this. So this has, very little to do with price, and people often try to relay this to price. This is not how you do it. Look at the title, psychology, right? This is what we all go through. At least most of us that aren't psychos, or are psychos. You want to be looking at this. We all go through these levels at different times. So just because someone or you're in anxiety doesn't mean someone else is just not in complacency or in denial, right? We all can kind of go through this at different levels. This is kind of the general masses psychology of the cycles. So doesn't mean the price has to be in this level, which this often gets very confused with the general, especially new people think that, well, price is only at this level, so we're definitely in denial. It's nothing to do, it's very little to do with price. It's your psychology. So someone could be at anger and you could be at depression, right? So also these can last different lengths for people. And in the disbelief, it doesn't mean like prices are only up when we go into disbelief. It doesn't mean like we're definitely out of the market. You can see these dips. There's always dips no matter where you are. And so just for what it's worth, for those of you watching, like, it's just, you look at this up here as well. The peak, the trough, right? Where if we're not down here, and psychologically, I mean, I would guess we're somewhere down towards the bottom of this, right? Depends on who you are. Maybe you think we're here. Maybe you think we're here. Every person's a little bit different. Doesn't have to be exactly, but you don't want to be thinking that we're in complacency, and and you think you got to live through all this first, right? Those are psychos that, if you're way off, right, you're probably not going to make it. I would say we're probably still somewhere in here for the masses, between anger and depression, right? It's unlikely that, being in extreme fear or fear on the fear and greed index for basically record amounts of time now, or literally, quite literally record amounts of time. And this is way longer than back here now. We haven't been this low ever. So saying that we're in, anxiety or denial, which I've seen some people say, what do you think this would look like? I mean, I'm losing subscribers making new videos tells me that we're down in this area, okay? So I can see my YouTube stats dropping. You look at the prices, I mean, this NKN is example of that, right? I mean, complacency is back in here. Anger, disbelief, all of this, maybe, depression. I mean, I feel like we're somewhere in here. For a lot of people are thinking one of these two things, and I feel like probably leaning more towards depression and disbelief, in my opinion, based on just the people that I see, right? I could see all the people that have left Twitter, that have left YouTube, that have, the masses have gone through all this already. And so just for what it's worth, I think the end is nearer more than we're just starting to enter capitulation. I think that's been a while. So that's my 2 cents. Yeah, I'll do a quote of the day for those of you still here. 3 of you. Um, there you go. And car of the day. Any live stream, it's gonna be the same. My dream car, McLaren 720S in yellow, just like that. Hopefully, if we hit that 10 trillion market cap, I think we're all doing pretty well. And this might be a little bit bigger. Might be my driveway. All right. Maybe we just need to buy more Shiba. Yeah, Gaussian channel coins, sir. Let's do that. All right. 12. We've been on 2 hours and we've got a solid 3 people. Great success. All right, let's go to the Gaussian channel. Let's take off the Bollinger Bands. Although you can use that, I don't know if you know that, you can use like the Bollinger Bands on the Gaussian channel, and you can put moving average. You can use all of it. It just gets a little confusing. So, for unconfusing sake, let's take all of that off and let's use the 5-day. We'll start with Bitcoin and kind of go down the list roughly quickly. So this is huge for Bitcoin. We started out the video looking at this. Look at all the bottoms here. I mean, this is amazing. The Bitcoin has bottomed and not fallen out of this at all at the 5 days. So that's a promising sign, right? So we'll see. Our next test's got to be around this 47K level. The odds are when you bottom here and go lift off that you're gonna at least attempt to get close to that median line. So if we do that this time successfully, that will also take us into kind of this resistance level here. It'll also hold resistance here, and will also kind of be right flirting with overtaking that 21-week EMA for Bitcoin. So important levels right at that 47K. If we can break through that, I think you're going to see the floodgates open, and I think the bears will start ceasing to exist and maybe go extinct for a while. We'll see. So Ethereum, let's go look at Ethereum. 5-day Gaussian. Again, all these are going to be on the 5-day. So what you want to look for is support around these levels. Support resistance. So Ethereum's coming up to its median line 30, just above 3,100. So looking good there. Again, staying inside of the Gaussian. You'll see some of these coins not doing so well. ADA right now. This is why I'm kind of cautious on ADA. I think it will do well, but it'll probably be lagging behind a lot of these other coins because, I mean, there's the proof in the charts right there. We've just flipped red on the 5-day Gaussian. We're under the 5-day Gaussian, broken outside of it. So, until ADA can close back in here, and I mentioned earlier, like the 110 to 120 level, until we're closing back above that and getting back in the support zone, I'm still a little hesitant on ADA for now. Now that we lost that dollar was huge psychologically, and now we're kind of struggling to hold that as a resistance even. So that's my 2 cents for ADA. MATIC. Hello. Easy to see on 5-day Gaussian which coins are stronger than others. Out of the 5 that we looked at, including Bitcoin and Ethereum, MATIC is simply more bullish than those others right now. We're going to go down the list a little bit and see what others are looking like this, but there's not a whole lot. Look at MATIC holding the median line. So anytime you can stay in this top zone, way more bullish than being down here. I mean, it's bullish if you could hold inside your Gaussian, but I mean, holding the top side is great. If you could hold the top line, even better, which we did back in here, right? But we've stutter stepped a little bit, but a lot of coins have not only stutter stepped, but they fell in the stairs and fell out of the stairs, fell down the mountain. So let's go look at Engine. Engine still in here. We broke in the median. You see, we closed here, so that was kind of the flash signal, but we're still in the 5-day. So far so good. Polkadot flirting, closing outside the bottom. There's our kind of resistance zone here. So we're back in it. So we had one close outside of it. We closed back in it. So okay so far. If you see us another candle close outside of the 5-day Gaussian, that would be spell more trouble, and we could potentially, I would say, if we close another candle out of it, the odds would kind of improve to go back and kind of retest this $10 area. And again, that would be only if Bitcoin kind of comes back down to, 40s, 30, high 30s, something like that. Then I would say a lot of coins will kind of retest their July lows, just in my opinion. Link, 5-day Gaussian has turned red. We're struggling. We're in the tar pits. So yeah, we're already under the July lows here. So this is again why I'm a little more hesitant on Link until we get back above this. In the 5-day Gaussian, get above $20. As far as your ROI, this is why you want to be remaining hesitant on coins that are looking like this. As far as ROI, now, I mean, if you've learned anything about looking at the 5-day Gaussian, what do we got here? Bulls on bulls on bulls. There's not a whole lot of coins. I don't know of any coins that are doing this. So Luna's certainly the shining star right now. The evidence backs it up as well. So it's not just what he said, she said. The charts say as well that Luna is right now a superstar. AVAX, superstar. I mean, holding above it, not even entering it yet. So you asked me like what my top 5 was. I mean, Luna, AVAX. I don't make those up for no reason. I've looked at these. MATIC, right? Those are 3 solid ones right now. Let's go look at Mana. Mana, there's another one above the 5-day Gaussian. Look at that bounce back in October. Came right into it, held it as support, that top line, and I mean 300% in just 5 days. Whoa. Kaboom. There you go. Axie Infinity battling with the bottom. Nice bounce off the bottom so far. Here's our support zone for Axie Infinity, and then I would like us to get kind of overtake this consolidation. When we fell out of that, kind of that was pretty big support. So until Axie's kind of above kind of the $65 level again and holding it as support, maybe on the back burner, but still more bullish than some, right? VeChain, same thing. Looking at Polkadot, Chainlink, VeChain right now hesitant because of the charts. If your chart's not doing well, your coins are going to simply struggle more than others. If you had to clear-cut pick between that and that, I mean, it's like you got your shiny new Ferrari, or the Ferrari's crashed a little bit here, right? So, I mean, VeChain can be a Ferrari, but right now he's in a barn somewhere, right? We have to find him in a barn. We have to wash him off and clean him up a bit. That takes some work. Already show ready, right? AVAX, show ready. Mana, show ready. The car analogies will stay. Harmony 1, battling the median line, closing above it, trying to get more bullish. Looking good. We had the support zone hit. We wicked right into it and kaboom, right out of it. So looking good there. Harmony 1's looking better than a lot, right in the top zone of the Gaussian. Looking okay. Harmony 1's good. Let's look at AMP. Just turned red on the Gaussian. Again, Slugsworth, stuck in the mud. Doesn't mean they're bad coins. It just means they're stuck in a barn, need more help, getting cleaned off, getting show ready. Going to take more time. ROI, you don't want to be too heavy in the coins that need a lot of work to go. If you have more patience, if you have a year to wait, okay. But don't complain when a month from now or 2 months from now when we start lifting off again, and these coins will likely, that's all you have is the odds. These coins that are looking like this will likely lag behind the others. Simply put. VeChain, now we've looked at VeChain, AMP, I think DOT, and well, let me look at DOT. I can't remember DOT. DOT's close. DOT will likely, unless DOT has them move, DOT will likely turn red here in the next week or so. But what was the other one that was, our good friend Mr. Chainlink. Yeah. So Dot, AMP, and VeChain right now are stuck in the mud. I think that's about it. Let's look at the total crypto cap. How about that? How are we looking there? Well, we wicked off the bottom of the Gaussian. I mean, if you're not using the 5-day Gaussian, you're doing yourself an injustice. There's no way that all of these coins we've listed are like, I mean, to the trillionth, because now we're looking at trillionth. We mean like to the number right off of the bottom of some of these coins. So, I mean, look at that back there in July, right off the median to the T bounce. Tried to hold support, broke through. Anytime you close a candle under one of these lines, you're likely going to test the next one. And the same way works with the bottom. You bounced off of this one, you're likely going to test the next one. So now we're trying to do that again. We got to break above 2 trillion for the market cap. And then guess what? Blue skies could be ahead. Look how much higher we could go. That's a pretty significant move. This is market wide now, okay? So we're looking at, 20% market wide move if we can close above here. That's what the odds say. That's what the charts say, okay? So we broke above here. We bounced. The odds were we're going to have a, 25, 30% rally market wide. And guess what? We've done that. So next move, if we close above 2 trillion, 20% are the odds for market wide again. Altcoins. So no Bitcoin. Same thing, no Bitcoin. Let's remove this old chart. So now we're floating with this. Floating, flirting. We're doing both. Float and flirt. Above 1.1 trillion. We do that. We didn't even, you could argue that this is even more bullish than the total crypto. And the only difference is one includes Bitcoin, the other does not. Not a huge difference. So altcoins maybe remaining a little bit more bullish so far. If we get a breakout here, good news. Should rally. All right. How about eGold? Bottom channel, but still in the channel. Okay. We can go down. How about Moon River? Median line. Although we've been in kind of severe downtrend for a hot minute. Let's go look at, how about Shiba? Shiba entered the Gaussian, but still remaining relatively bullish, right, on the 5-day. Nice to be able to use that now because, in the early days of Shiba, we had nothing to go on. It was just gambling, speculative gambling. And, sometimes they work out. Litecoin. Here's another mutter. Tough mutter. Another mutter. That's 4 now, I think. 4 stuck in the mud. Just throwing that out there. You don't have to agree with it, but it's truth. Uni. Add it to the list. That's a 5 mutter. We got 5 in the mud altogether. XLM. We feel like a mud. It's a long mutter. He's deeper in the mud. Look how long this red channel. That's 6. 6 in the mud. XRP. His shoes are getting muddy. He's not full in the mud yet because we've turned red, but we're not under. So fair warning. XRP. Veracity. VRA. There you go. Not terrible. Looking okay. He's thinking about the mud. ALTCOIN, we needed a bounce. That's what that was for. If we bounced off of that and, retested and got above the Gaussian. So I probably drew this back in December. Someone probably requested it. And there you go. If we got back above here, you bounce. If not, kaput. And we kaputted. So ALTCOIN, you guessed it, mud. I don't even know what some of these coins are, but we're going to look at them. So there you go. Divi. Doji. Doji's almost in the mud. The dog's about to get in the mud. We'll see. We're under the Gaussian channel. We're about to turn red. Doge, fair warning, 13 cents. Could be going to 0. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if Elon tweets it out and saves it. Doge Bitcoin. Woo. Phantom. Looking better than most. All right. FTM. All right. Stamp of approval so far. We just barely entered, so just be careful. If we enter back in, that'd be a big warning sign to me. So Phantom looking better than most. So he's far away from the mud. He's in the grass fields, almost on pavement. The analogies will never stop. Atom, looking okay, right? Better than most. Hex, I don't even know why this is on here. Probably requests. Some of these are just requests, so don't think I'm like, you know, heavily into these or anything like that. The ones that I'm, have some kind of involvement in or I like are, you can see the red flags there, right? Right. Those are my important ones. So just because they're down here doesn't mean that I hate them or anything like that. I've probably covered them in the past, and someone likes them somewhere somehow. Near, looking good. That's a nice looking chart. That's kind of chart you want to be looking like. So you want to be climbing up the mountain always, right? You don't want to be sliding down the mountain. So these are just a little valley, right? Looking good above the 5-day Gaussian. Near's looking okay. Stamp of approval for Chase. Bounce off the bottom back in July, and been blue skies ever since. Look at these. Look at these wicks. You can't make this stuff up. Bounce off the exact bottom of the Gaussian. Come back down. Bounce off the exact top of the Gaussian. Amazing. Near. Thumbs up. Axie Bitcoin, Phantom Tether, FTT. I feel like this is something different. All right, excuse me if I get one of your coins wrong. These are okay. We're indecision time right here. So if we bounce up here and we can kind of close above this top, our next target 59 for FTX. All right, that's it in a nutshell. I haven't looked at the chat at all. Let's see what I missed. All right, so I'm into the chat. Just give me a moment, eh? Give me a moment. I think I did FTM, right? Did I jump over it? Yeah, I did it. Okay. What's the symbol for World Mobile? I'll look at it now. Yeah, so that's hopefully you learned something there. Watch out for the mud. That's all you gotta do. Watch out for the mud coins. It's not that they're bad projects. It's that for your portfolio ROI, you'd want to be in the fastest flying cars, don't you? Do you choose to get wherever you're going slower or faster? If it's faster, get in the faster car. The faster cars are the ones that are avoiding the Gaussian channel or higher up in the Gaussian channel. The fastest, the Ferraris, the McLarens, the Lambos of the day, the week, and month are, what would we look at? MATIC was up there, right? MATIC's kind of there. The best ones were Luna, right? I mean, certainly the Lamborghini way ahead. The first place right now, Luna for sure. AVAX is doing good. AVAX is, one of the supercars right now. Mana, supercar. What was the other one? I don't know. You heard it. Watch it back. those are the fearsome threesome right now. Mana, AVAX, Luna, slaughtering everyone else. The Mud Boys. The Mud Boys are, you heard it. Link, Amp, our favorites. I don't remember. I can't keep track of all this. You saw it. I did it. All right, I can do it. Yeah, Meta Hero. We can look at it. Send me the damn world thing. Oh, look at that. Look at there. He's trying to be one of the boys. He's trying to avoid the mud. Look at this guy. All right. So he's flirting with it. He's teetering He's walking the sidewalk right now, but on one side you have nice smooth road. On the other side you have a mud pit. Where are we gonna go? Uh, Maybe you'll just jump. This is the dirt path. Okay, we're okay on the dirt path. You can get a little dusty, right? But the mud pit's down here. A lot of them are in the mud pit. We're still on the kind of the road, the sidewalk, the pavement. As long as we get a bounce here, we can really get moving, right? Lambos don't like the mud pit. If you come down the mud pit, you're in trouble. At least for your ROI. You want your ROI always to be in supercars as much as possible. And supercars still here, but not much history. So I don't know. Do we have longer history? It depends on the exchange you look at. So I apologize if there's more history than this, but as of right now, that's all I got to look at, and looking okay. My dogs are going crazy. I'm probably gonna have to cut this off. I don't know if they saw a squirrel or I'm gonna have to go check on them. So we got no Gaussian. We got no Gaussian. Let's put on the daily. See if we got one there. It's way above. So not gonna help us there. How about the 1 hour? Let's see if we got a 1 hour Gaussian. There we go. So the 1 hour. If you have any information, we've just entered it in 1 hour, so not a whole lot of help. But whatever. You can tell how much it flip flops. That's why the 5 days is the key. But we ain't got nothing for it. Need more history. I mean, obviously a nice open here, but try not to judge coins. It's kind of flatline here still. Let's look at the 1 hour again. Let me zoom out. So it's deciding. We're deciding what to do. We're in limbo. More gambles. I mean, these could pay off big if you're getting into one of these, but they can also go to zero. Just beware of that if you're interested in it. I just like track records before I get into anything, but certainly you can make big paydays in coins like this that are very young and early. So to each his own. I don't hate it. I would just do a small amount. Don't put like your whole portfolio in this. That's how a lot of people get wrecked. The next big project and all in doesn't tend to work out so well. Yeah, I'll go ahead and end it here. I got the dogs are definitely seeing something out there. Uh, so I gotta go run out and hopefully there's not a dead animal out there. I'll see you on the next one. We'll try to do another one maybe next week at the latest. Next Wednesday we'll try to do it at the same time. We'll see how that works out. I'll see if I can fix it, and then also maybe we'll try a different time. Maybe I do want to try like maybe a Friday or Saturday or Sunday, maybe when everyone's home. Maybe one of those would be better, but we'll see. At least I helped a couple of you, I think. Thanks for sticking around this long. If you have, you each get 57 gold stars. Thanks you guys and girls, guys and gals. I'll see you on the next one. Appreciate it. Goodbye.